And welcome to Patrick's Models and Transport. And it's not Model Kit Tuesday, but it's just a Model Kit episode. Right, here it is, the Airfix Volkswagen Beetle 132 starter set. And here's one that I built previously. So this is the starter set of this model. There we go. It comes with paints. You can see. I don't know what you can see because my telephone isn't in the usual position. There we go. Yes. Okay. It comes with silver, blue, orange, red, brown, and black Humbrol acrylic paints, and a tube of Humbrol poly cement, which I will not use, of course. I didn't use it last time on this one. I used Tamiya cement, much better. But you don't throw away the Humbrol poly cement. You can use it for other things that don't require such a high level of definition and care, so it's okay. It's still something you can use for something a bit more rough and ready. I have used it for certain things, but anyway, this is the box, right? And of course, as well as that, you get two nice paint brushes. You get a 0 and a 4, which I already have. There we go. These are the old ones. These are the ones I use as scruffy paint brushes. They're not really fantastic, but these ones here, I keep them for cleaning things with lighter fluid, or for cleaning rolling stock with you call it LCD screen cleaning solution. So let's have a look. It's getting colder, and let's have a look at the model now. Now that we've seen the one I finished previously. 2022, 2 years ago, full 2 years ago. Sorry, no, 2021. I built this one here, end of 2021, so 3 years ago. Righto. This one here, we spoke about it in a previous video, which I will link in the description box. Let's have a look at the sprues themselves. We do what we call an unboxing. So this is not the kind of box that once you unbox it, you have to just pull it open like this. Pardon me. And here at the back there's the painting instructions. It's rather not a great box. I just need to pull it open like that. Oh. Crummy box. Okay, perfect. Let's see what state it's in. Oh, here we are. And that's a lot. Is it? Ah yes, the weights and stuff here. Moving this out the road. Okay, let's see all the bits and pieces. So here we are, we've got this is the model itself with all its bits and pieces. There's the chassis, there's the bodywork, there it is. The various chassis, the chassis with chassis members, the wheels, the seats. And I'm not opening this right now because we'll open it when we start building it. This is an Airfix model. It's a starter set, and I'm pretty sure it's a very old moulding. There's a lot of cleaning to do on the sprues, a lot of filing, a lot. Honestly, there's more filing to be done on this than on the Alan Z5, where there was quite a lot of filing and modifying on that as well. But this is really a quite rough moulding. But once you've filed it down using your file or your very fine sandpaper, it comes very well. So what we're going to do in this case here, this is as I told you in the previous video, which is in the description box, this is my very first model kit I built after the big long break, the 30-year break, and the very first model kit I ever painted. So that was the whole, and I used their material. So I used these paints here, this stuff here, these ones, the Umbro ones, which are not bad. They're not bad, but Vallejo are much superior, but they're good. The orange is good, and the red are very good for doing touch-ups and things and small. So definitely, I used them all. Everything that was left over from the first Volkswagen Beetle I used, even on other models. So the silver is not great compared to Vallejo. Vallejo silver is 10 million times better. The chrome effect is much more realistic. And here, what I did, after painting it, I gave it transparent varnish on top, on top of the silver, to get that kind of proper chrome effect. If I don't remember badly, I must have done that. I did. But the model kit itself is, when I made this, I also made some mistakes. I glued the glazing in not before painting. I wasn't so silly. First I painted, then I glued it in, but I didn't make the chrome window rubber frames, and I did them afterwards. Plus I used normal Tamiya cement. I didn't know about glue and glaze yet, so that was that. And then I went to the big shop, in a big model shop you saw a short of last summer, and so what I did, I modelled the interior. This is a blue right-hand drive version of my grandfather's 1962 Volkswagen Beetle, but we spoke about that in the previous video. So what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to actually make my grandfather's Beetle in white. It's a sort of off-white. I'll have to research the shade of Volkswagen white and probably mix Vallejo gloss white with a spot of ivory to just tone it down. I'll have to get the exact ratio to do that, so we'll see that together. This will be a longish project. Of course, I won't show you each step, or I might film short videos and then assemble them into longer ones, simply because it could be an interesting thing just to see how you assemble this thing here. Or else a photo video and then the voiceover. I have to decide what to do. I've not really made my mind up, because generally when I build a model kit, I like to just listen to music and do it myself, and it's peace and quiet and not to be speaking. But what I could do, I could do a few short videos and then photographs, finished product, and then sort of edit a video. I'll have to think what to do to not make it boring, because to see a bloke sitting here, gluing, filing, cutting things off, we've all done that, so there's no point. So I'll sort of recap every time, and a few photographs and a voiceover telling you more or less what's what and what the issues are with this kit, and mainly how I'm going to turn the thing around to left-hand drive, because of course the dashboard, there's a dashboard moulding, which is, what is it? I don't want to take things out of here yet, because then they come out, or I'll just shove a couple of staples in it after, because I don't know exactly when I'm going to do this, but I think I'll do it pretty soon, because I would like to do something else as well in the model kits. Let's have a look. I said I wouldn't open them, but we're opening them. So rear seats, these are chassis, suspension and chassis elements. Here we have the wheels and hubcaps. Look at this. Look at this stuff here. Look how much. What a high degree of imprecision. This is really full of flashing. The Alan, the Z5, which was not a perfect moulding, had much less corrections to do than this thing here. This is Airfix. Here, for example, there's it's interesting because there's all this brake rigging. The suspensions are all done very well. So there's quite a lot of work to do all the suspension shock absorbers up here on the torsion bar. The front and rear torsion bars. It's not a. It's a. Okay. I was trying to see where the dashboard is. Where is the dashboard? No dashboard here. Can you see the dashboard? Let's see if we find the dashboard. That's the floor pan with the exhaust pipe. Here's the body, which seems to be my impression is more stretched on one side than on another. Oh no, it isn't. It's okay. Okay, that's the bodywork. Okie dokie. Now there's a dash panel. Perfect. Here it is. So here we have the dash panel. Righto. I'm trying to show you the dash panel and I hope you can see it. Yes, you can. So here's the dash panel. This dash panel here is right-hand drive. And I have to convert this here to left-hand drive. So let me just have a wee look at it. On the dash panel, there's the moulding of speedometer and the headlamp warning light, which is here. Here we have I'm trying to remember. This is the windscreen wiper motor switch. This is a headlamp switch, which are closer to you when you're in left-hand drive. And this thing here sort of represents the grab handle that's here on top of the glove box. And I remember my Italian grandmother, my grandfather would be driving, of course it would be the other way around because it was a left-hand drive car, and she would be driving along gripping the grab handle. She was terrified of the lorries. She was a bit nervous about traffic. My grandfather was a very good driver, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to turn this, I'm going to sort of have to modify this. I mean, that's the ashtray, of course. My grandfather kept that full of coins and things. He had a wee magnetic St. Christopher on the dashboard. And the only thing is, yep, the dial. So what I could do, I'm definitely going to recycle this because I don't want to rebuild this here from scratch using styrene because I'd go silly. I mean, it's inside the car, so you could say, who sees it? Just put the steering wheel around at the other side and don't bother don't complicate your life. But the thing is, I want to have the visible dials and things like there are in here somehow. And this is just clipped together, pushed together, but of course the paint tends to be sticky. I'd have to lever this out and show you how I made it. We'll definitely have a look inside anyway. So what I think I'm going to do here is make a pattern using some very thin 0.30mm styrene of the glove compartment, glove box door, which has the exact same pattern as the loudspeakers here, because these are the radio loudspeakers around the speedometer, and just make a pattern the same as this, turn it round so that there's mirror image, and that recreates the glove box door, I could, if I wanted, even do it using paper, but I think it's easier to do it out of styrene. Then over here I could file this part down a bit, or not even. I could just draw, use or paint the dials over here. And this wee handle here, I just cut it off with a cutter, and then file it over, or I just cut it off and re-glue it on over here. I just cut it off and glue it back on over here. And that way we just replicate the handle over here. Steering wheels support, I can just make it myself. I just make a little thing using a piece of wire glued on with glue and glaze, or 2 pieces of styrene glued on here, and they catch the steering wheel. So that's easy, that's not a problem. Probably if I really wanted, I could even just snip this off higher and then re-glue it on. So these are the interesting bits and pieces that we'll do together. And then, not to make the whole assembly, because I think the whole assembly would be not boring, a bit like watching paint dry. But what else? Short ones, we'll see. I'll see what to do. In fact, if you have any suggestions, tell me in the comments, because this way I can have an idea how to proceed with the videos on this here. So the main thing is to make my grandfather's Volkswagen Beetle. One thing which is very good is that on Beetles the windscreen wipers always remain in left-hand drive position. So the windscreen wipers are correct. They're left-hand drive windscreen wipers. They never change the position, the parking position of the windscreen wipers. So that's good. That's good for making the left-hand drive version. And of course it will be the same as this, but white, and of course with a very small Italian number plate here at the front and the square one at the back. The spare decals will be very useful to give me the exact size of a 132 rear number plate, square number plate. And then I have I have a couple of Italian number plates here that belong to the Beetle that my father had after my grandfather's white one and got destroyed in an accident in London, parked. But I'll tell you the story about that with the photographs. And then he scrapped it locally, but he never had the occasion to hand in the plates here in Italy, and so generally the plates have to be handed back into the authorities here in Italy, and they're destroyed. Instead I still have them. I mean, they have no validity anymore, so it's perfectly okay to have them in a house, but I have those plates, so we can actually measure a set of Italian 1970s in this case here, but just the same format, the traditional format that started in 1924, the black plates, the square at the back and small rectangular at the front. We can actually measure them 1-to-1 scale and then reduce them into all the scales we want, whether it's 187 or whatever. Okay, or 142 or 143, whatever we want. Very well, so that's the unboxing and presentation of the Airfix starter set 132 Volkswagen Beetle, and let me know what you think about it, and how I should proceed to make some short, sort of condensed videos. I have a few ideas, but condensed videos that could be really short, not big long things like what I'm talking about right now, because this is too long-winded, and including maybe photographs of the build and a wee video with an explanation of what I did, you see, or maybe some of the most important moments, like, you know, modifying the dashboard, the dash panel, etc, etc. So okay, hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell. Cheerio, and see you next time, and share the video if you liked it. Ciao ciao.